person who talks about things.
Hi everybody. My name is Molly. Rock the boat. I'm Molly the person who talks about things with people while they eat. And that's my name on here now. It was Type A hippie, and previous to that it was Molly the INFJ. Now, I hope the name changes aren't putting a wrench in your step, but it felt more cohesive with the title, and I'm just a person. I'm just a baby. So I'm realizing that while I kind of identify with being a nihilist, I still try to seek meaning in everything, like constantly. It's like my dominant introverted intuition wants everything to mean something. And so that's kind of been interesting these past few years, like having my core beliefs contradict what I might want to believe just on a regular, like, wow, that was a coincidence, it must mean, and I just automatically try to decide what it means. Like, ooh, I looked at the clock at 11:11, like 11 days in a row. Like, that's, I don't know, some sort of superstition comes with it, and I try to place meaning on things. And I kind of struggled with trying to figure out if this is a bad thing or a good thing, but it doesn't have to be either. Good or bad, hard to tell. I am a converting optimist. While I feel like I'm naturally more cynical, I'm trying to be more optimistic and make the most of life. And so I make choices toward that mindset, like writing in my gratitude journal every night 3 things I'm grateful for from that day. And if you had a really bad day, it can be as basic as like the air, like healthy air to breathe, or water, or and that kind of actually rewires your brain to be more positive, so it's really good to write it, to practice gratitude in some form. So I still make choices to try and make life a bit more tolerable, and make the most of it, and I think that's okay, and I think that's my choice, and I would rather do that, and I wonder how other people feel. Do you kind of do you trick yourself into happiness? An example of this would be holidays. I think a part of me is like, oh, the consumerism, like they're just made up this day so that we'd spend a bunch of money and buy people things, or, Valentine's Day, so that we'll buy your overpriced chocolates, which, by the way, day after Valentine's Day, that's when you get the mega deals. I'm all about sales. If you have that perspective of holidays being BS, pretty much, then do you just decide to, not celebrate them? For me, the answer is no. I've actually went the total other opposite side of that spectrum, and I embrace them 100% and look forward to them. Because I find that they're spaced out just enough that, you have something to look forward to. And I was thinking that, different types probably like or appreciate holidays for different reasons. More future-oriented types, like the INFJ, probably, look forward to the holidays and to, thinking out which gifts they can get people that they care about, and stuff like that. And then more past-oriented types, or types that may live in the past a bit more, with, potential introverted sensing in their stack. They might love the nostalgia, the feeling that it brings, or, introverted feelers too, the feeling that it brings, oh, I remember, this reminds me of when Grandma rocked in the chair and read us a story or something. The feeling that holiday brings. Or, I don't know, it could be a bunch of things, but I think it's interesting that, we all look forward to things for different reasons. I look forward to it pretty much because I'm looking forward to it in itself, if that makes sense. So, yeah, to enjoy life, I still try and seek meaning and enjoy things like holidays or like whatever it is. I try and embrace it and go all out. Even if I'm like knowing, even if I know that it's conventional, and if a part of me thinks it's stupid, the part of me the idealistic part of me like kind of shuts that up and says like, we're gonna make the most of this. This is gonna be the best or something. I did this video in front of my yellow bike. Hey, shout out to yellow bike. Oh, and I have my yellow hat here. So another example of this would be different colors have kind of been themes to different chapters of my life. And this chapter right now is yellow. Because quite literally, I have my yellow bike, and I'm in Minneapolis, and it's Bike City. And I've got this yellow hat, and I got yellow heels for a wedding, and just like, so these objects are yellow, but it's like not so simple. Well, yeah, it kind of is. Yellow is the color that I'm drawn to, or that keeps showing up in my life right now. And it's kind of the theme of this year. And before that it was red, and before that it was purple. And so that idea of being attached to a favorite color, I don't really buy. And I think that's kind of something that we are like trained to believe, that we have a favorite color, because like we're asked so many times, what's your favorite color when you're little? And then you say whatever your older brother's favorite color is, or whatever first comes to mind, and you just decide. You have to say it so many times that you decide that's what it is. I feel like that's how a lot of traditions and things happen. It's just like it happens so much and we just decide that this is like how it goes, and then you think it's inherently important or true. And it might not be. So anyways, that kind of blew my mind when I started questioning what my favorite color was, because for the longest time I was sure it was either purple or green. And it's still, those colors are pretty to me. But there are so many colors and so many beautiful things about the different colors, and they can mean different things, and we don't have to just limit ourselves. And so that is a thought. There are other sort of things like this that I feel like I'm just embracing, like the idea of getting married and wearing a ring and like all this stuff that just everyone just does and you don't think about. But I'm finding myself that it's more enjoyable to embrace some of these things instead of like standing back and being like, why do we do that? Why? Yet some things I still do question a whole heck of a lot. So, how do you tolerate your existence? Or your knowing that soon there will be a lack thereof? Comment below. This is a real upper. No, but I really am going to be an optimist. I'm trying to be more present. That's another thing. Like, people living in the past or in the future tend to be a little bit more anxious, and those living in the present tend to be more zen. And I feel like that is a great place to be. So mindfulness is wonderful. So yeah, this video was kind of like a little bit all over the place, but pretty much I just wanted to talk about norms and nihilism. So
She had an illness that she labeled when she was told the label. She loved it because the label helped her escape the fact that she was sick, and she knew